everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here again today, and this time I wanted to speak to you for a few minutes about what exactly do you do if you have a possum in your roof. Now this is a really common thing around Canberra and people ask me about it all the time. And there's some actually really practical things you can do in this sort of situation. But before I get to them, I just want to first introduce you to my friend, the brush-tailed possum. This here is Petal. Now he came to me this year on my birthday, and I don't often do wildlife rehabilitation anymore, but because it was my birthday I just couldn't resist, and he has totally stolen my heart. I don't know what I'm going to do when the time comes to release him because I just love him so much. I'll hate to see him go, but I know that where he belongs is in the wild, and that's always the best outcome. But I also wanted to show him to you because all the time people come to me and they say, you know what, Carly, I've got a perfect wildlife solution for you. It's called a shotgun. And I laugh, I know they're joking most of the time. But the reality is, no, you cannot shoot brush-tailed possums. They're a protected animal. But also, if you have a possum in your roof, the other thing you can't do is relocate them. And that's the big shocker, because I think a lot of really well-intentioned people think, I'll just trap the animal and I'll take it on a drive and we'll take it to a beautiful forest where it can have friends and beautiful trees and lots of stuff to eat, and it'll be happy and safe forever. But the reality though is possums are extremely territorial. So if you take a possum and you dump it in the territory of another one, it's gonna get bashed up. If not by the local dominant male that lives there already, then by something like a fox or a cat. In fact, they did a study in 1994, and I think it was at Deakin University if you want to look it up. And they studied the fate of, what's the word I'm looking for? Relocated, sorry, my brain's dead. Relocated brush-tailed possums. And they found that only about 5% of them actually survived. So if you're looking for a humane and ethical solution to a possum in your roof, relocating them is just never the answer. And by the way, the trouble with relocating possums is the same trouble you have relocating most any wild animal. So, you know, if you ever do have this sort of situation with any kind of animal, really think twice before you relocate it, because chances are that's not going to be a happy ending for the animal. Okay, so practical solutions. Possum in your roof, the first thing you need to do is get yourself a possum box. So let me show you what they look like. This here is a really nice possum box. And what they do is they hop around, not on the ground though, this goes in the tree. They hop through here, the lid sort of goes up for them to get in, and then they can live in here, just like that. And chances are that's probably a nicer home than your roof is anyway. So that's the easiest thing you can do. And to encourage them in, you just want to put maybe some banana or avocado, something like that, piece of fruit, and that'll sort of encourage them in, tempt them in. But if only it were that simple. If you've got an animal living in your roof and that's its habitat and that's its home, it's going to keep going in and out. It's going to keep living there. So you really have to actually fix your roof. So I've heard it said that having a possum problem actually isn't a wildlife problem at all, it's actually a roofing problem. So what you need to do is go up into your roof and work out where the animal is actually getting in and out, which will include like lifting up every single roof tile, which I know is a bit of work, but that's often the way that they get in. And be looking for any holes that are even, you know, even that big, okay? Because I don't know how they do it. It's almost like their skull can collapse and they just go in and out. So go up into your roof space at some stage during the day so that you can see where the light is streaming in. And there's probably a couple different places. Oh, if you're not sure that it's a possum, put flour up in your roof space and then go have a look at the prints, and if you see drag marks, that's actually a rat. Okay, so that's probably the first thing to do, and then that's a whole other issue. But so you need to figure out where the animal's getting in and out, and then you need to block up those places. So usually the easiest thing to do is go up during the day so you can see where the animal's getting in and out, but then at night, block everything up. And I say to do it at night because possums are out foraging at night. So if you can do that, When they try to get back in, they won't be able to, and voila, you're finished. You know, your solution has been handled. If it's not possible to do your repairs at night, which is understandable, one thing you can do is actually trap the animal and then put a sheet over it so that it's nice and dark, and that'll keep it calm. And then the very next morning, make sure and block up all the holes. And then that night, release it. Again, you don't want to release an animal during the day because it'll just get attacked, probably by birds, because possums are nocturnal. So if they go out during the day, they're kind of like, oh my god, blinded by the sun. Okay, so you need to get your possum box. You need to block up the holes. Then what you need to do is deter them from trying to get back in. The easiest way to do that is just take a solution of water and bleach any of the entry and exit points. So that's a little bit like if you have a cat that just keeps peeing on a pillow or something. Until you completely get rid of the smell, it's just going to keep doing it, okay? And it may even attract in other animals, if that makes sense. Okay, the other thing that you can do is sprinkle naphthalene flakes in the roof space, because the smell of that is supposed to be a deterrent. They don't like it at all. Also, go around the sides of your house and figure out which trees the possums are actually coming up on and over onto your roof. And if you can trim them back a little bit, that will help also. So get yourself a possum box, block up the holes, deter them with naphthalene flakes, scrub the entry and exit points with bleach, trim your trees. That's all I can really think. Oh, I meant to say too, if you want to get yourself a possum box, just contact your local wildlife rehabilitation group or even your local wildlife shelter, and chances are they'll sell them. That's how I got this one. If not, go to my website and I've got instructions there about how to actually make one yourself, or if you're someone like me, that means calling up a cute boy and asking him to bring his toolbox with him. But I probably shouldn't say that, I'll get angry emails for that. But if you're the misfix-it type, then I've heard that they're very easy to make, so there you go. So there are a few tips about what you can do if you're having a pesky possum problem in your ceiling, in your roof. Feel free to go to my website also, and we've got a downloadable fact sheet that has all this information there for you. And definitely, if you're just having no luck with this or with any other wildlife problem, feel free at any time to send an email through to my website, and either myself or one of my colleagues will get back to you. And we'll do whatever we can to help you find a solution to your problem that's happy for you and happy for the animals. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. There's Mama.